give me a share too, I think. I don't always.
How you doing, everybody? Boffo the Bear here. It is Thursday, May 21st, 2020. We are still in lockdown, although there are small shafts of light breaking through above. It's like Escape from New York, one of those movies that everyone's locked in the sewers and the rats are chasing you. They're going to eat your legs. And then there's one shaft of light shining from above. Go that way, they say. Go that way. And then eventually we all come out of the sewers and hug and kiss each other and pretend like this never happened. But good to have you here with us today. We got a great show for you. One of the funniest people I think I've ever met is on the program with us today, and we're going to have some fun with her. We got Brian all the way in the chat room from all the way in New Orleans. Good to have you here. Hopefully everyone's healthy and safe and managing well. I think what a problem no one's talking about nowadays is like the mental part of this game. You know, you hear athletes talk about it. You see Jordan in that documentary. It's all about the mental part of this game. This game being this quarantine where, you know, it's you versus the virus. Are you going to let the virus crack you and, go crazy? I'm sure there have been people that have just gotten naked and run down the street. But there's no one out there in the world to see them, so it passes unnoticed. Hopefully you're mellow and you're able to take this all in stride. And you tune in here every day at 6 o'clock Pacific for a little mirth, a little mayhem, a little chaos. Enjoy what we can do here on the interweb together. Today, it is Talkback Thursdays, which means we're going to be relying on your comments in the chat room. Michael Poland's Jet says hello. Joan Jet, I would believe. That would be his best friend. We're taking messages from the chat room. Also, you can call in. I'll put that number up later. It's going to be a very interactive show today because our guest is a very funny woman. She's a touring headlining comedian, an award-winning radio personality, and just a great fan of one of the greatest games in the world. All the way from Chicago, it's Patty Vasquez. Hello, Patty.
Hello. Good to see you, Boffo.
Oh my God! Just looking at that backdrop reminds me of the baseball that we're all missing. Oh, yeah. I said earlier today.
Yeah,
it's the most holy place in the universe, I think, that Wrigley Field.
It is. I've been going to Wrigley since I was 4 years old, and this is actually a photo from the press box. I had the wonderful opportunity to sing the seventh inning stretch. However, it was one of the last from my former station's relationship with the Cubs, and for some reason, mysteriously, we were not hooked into the sound system of the park, so nobody outside of the press box heard me and Nick DiGilio and Pete McMurray singing the seventh inning stretch, which might be for the best, quite frankly.
That is the Chicago way.
Yep.
Remember Sean got it from the untouchable? Yeah, sure, you can sing it. We're not going to broadcast it because now my station is mad at your station. But yeah, go ahead, sing it. Chicago people, they'll stick it in your back, but they'll be giving you like a home-baked pie as they do it.
Yes. It's I guess our equivalent to bless his heart. Bless your heart. We're not so, yeah, we're a little
from the South.
Yeah. Chicago's got a different style. Yes.
Now, your comedy has taken you all over the country. I know you travel doing comedy. Is there a difference doing stand-up in Chicago compared to, let's say, New Orleans? You got to feel out the audience somehow?
You know, unfortunately, before all this happened, I never made it to New Orleans, but I did perform in Nashville, in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Florida, Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama was probably the hardest city in the South that I ever played. There was one night where I walked out on stage. The Star Dome is this beautiful, palatial club, and I was hired to be the feature act for 3 straight weeks. So they had a big name headliner, and they wanted a solid feature act. I actually got fired on the first night because they said a pretty little lady like you shouldn't talk about drinking or peeing in the woods. So
whoa! Who's got a problem with peeing in the woods? That's like the best place to pee.
I know,
If you ask me,
right? It's
the only place to pee. It is.
Yep.
You have a bit about peeing in the woods?
I used to be a Girl Scout, so it was just trying to anyway. So finding the right leaves. You got to make sure you pick the right leaves. If you don't have the
Oh,
right, yes.
big problems. Yeah, you're itching all the way back to civilization if you make a mistake there.
I think I've heard you talk about this on the show. By the way, I'm guessing a lot. Did you see that the sale of bidets has gone up astronomically? And I would imagine with fur, that's probably an even more preferable situation.
It is. I mean, the mechanics of getting clean in the woods. Actually, I prefer skunk because they have the quills in the back. And you can also, without being indelicate, if you use a skunk, you can check your progress. You know what I mean? If you pick an all dark animal, you don't know.
Right. You don't know what your progress is. So, at any rate,
Exactly.
in Alabama, I did have a tough time. I begged them to let me stay. I did, and he was. I told him I'll do a whole different 30-minute set. So I did stay, but I would say it was the hardest gig I've ever had was doing Birmingham, Alabama. I talk very fast too. That was always a problem in Southern clubs. But I've traveled all over the world, and I would say the most incredible place I ever performed was in Copenhagen. Everyone there, they teach English beginning in kindergarten. So that was probably the most incredible experience I've ever had, being able to travel and do comedy.
I performed once at a place called Boom Chicago in Amsterdam, and I was shocked that A, people understood English as well as they do in the States, and B, got all the references. It was a very,
Yeah.
I thought you'd have to have a whole European closet of references. It wasn't required.
Right? No, they're on the same page. And I do miss traveling. It's weird because you mentioned traveling comedian, and I don't know when the next time is. I don't know how comedy bounces back after this. How long is it going to be? Because comedy is about the energy and other people in the audience. And if we're going to have to do staggered tables and things like that, it's going to be an interesting journey for comedy club owners.
Yeah, I mean, people laugh, but the design of a comedy room is important. You got to have, a low ceiling. People have to feel like crowded together, and you get that breeder reactor of comedy. Even if the room is half full, it would be much more difficult. Have you done any electronic Zoom comedy in this time?
Yes, actually, that's one of the reasons I have a green screen. Is the only place that I can get a little bit of quiet is in our basement, which also doubles as a therapy room. My younger son Declan has physical and intellectual disabilities, so we have a lot of equipment for him, like a therapy swing and a lot of occupational therapy toys for him. So it's chaos back here, and I just decided the best thing to do was to have a green screen. And I will tell you, it is surprising how much fun I had doing my first digital show. And people are so grateful for something different. And we stayed away from, we all just maybe did a couple of jokes or thoughts about the pandemic.
But the virus, yeah.
Yeah. But then it was all autobiographical. Plus, we live in a 2-flat with my mom. She's the property owner. My husband and I and my boys live upstairs. And she will come down here and be like, don't forget to turn off the lights before you're done. I'm like, Mom! So, a little bit
Your
of a
mom is stopping your comedy show because the lights.
Yep. What are you doing down here?
Do you get, how does it work as the comedian? Do you hear the laughter? Do you feel the energy of the room? Or you're just sitting in your basement cracking jokes?
Well, I think it's because I've been doing comedy for over 20 years that, and because I did radio, the pace for me isn't too startling. So it's kind of a combination of radio and comedy, and I'm able to meld those. And we had Dr. Bill Miller, he's an anesthesiologist and a comedian, and he put together the show in a way that really worked for the comic. So we were kind of did a round robin. Each comic was given a setup, and then we would do 4 minutes and then took turns, and it worked out really well. And as far as the audience goes, yes, we could see people in various situations in their homes and their offices, because you're Boffo, you're always gonna get that one guy who sits like this. Always, right? But,
Even in his own house.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm not. My own house, I'm not going to be happy there. Oh, that's funny. I saw.
And he's in a big executive chair, and got the bar behind him. And then we had couples that were in reclining couches, and we could see the bottom of their feet. And I was like trying not to look, but it was, you had a lot. The trick is like doing a live show is to lock into the people that are having a good time, and you kind of work on delivering the material to that person who really seems to be getting it. And it's that part is actually easier than doing it live in front of a crowd.
Yeah, because you can see everyone's faces lit up right by their computer screen, probably.
Well, we had 150, so we could only see 12, and we made sure that everybody's mics were off, so that I was fine without having the feedback of laughter, because the absence of it, I think, would be unsettling as well. You know how that goes.
Right. I tried to be digitally funny, but it did not work. You and I met when you were doing your late night radio program in Chicago on a station which used to be a fantastic radio station in Chicago, WGN, and has since turned to the dark side, is the most expedient way to say it, right?
Well, the industry has changed so much because and now with the pandemic, the talk shows, those stations are doing well as far as numbers go. But, it's hard to get advertisers. It's hard to get companies that want to spend money in that direction because everyone's being very tight with no one knows what happens next. So the industry is struggling now, and it was before the pandemic hit anyway.
Right. But your show was a shining beacon in that morass of FCC gobbledygook. It was called Pretty Late with Patty Vasquez, and it was like a live variety show every night to 39 states, and we always had fun doing it. And there was one bit that you used to do that I thought we could try here. We got lots of people in the chat room. We got people from Brian Plado from New Orleans is there, Pat Maish, Dan Miller, the mayor of Crazy Town up in Canada, Michael Riley's here, Juan Carranza is here. I love Juan. Who else is here? Oh, Danny Rocco is here too. Yeah, we got a full room, so it's people to play with. Also, let me put the phone number. I'm going to put the phone number on the screen there because this will require some interaction with you, the audience. So if you feel like calling in, we can do that as well. So set this up, Patty. This is a fun game. Okay. How do we play? What's it called?
So this game is called What's in the Box. Do you want a little bit of the background? I don't want to take too much time. Yes. So I learned years ago while I was traveling around the world, and you're always looking for new places for material, and also I do a lot of online shopping, and perhaps came across some reviews on Amazon.com for items that you would not expect to have such in-depth reviews for. I'm talking about adult toys, and I was fascinated with the extent to which people would describe their pleasure or displeasure with a particular item, and what I loved were women in the military who would talk about how what they needed. I would say they needed batteries and something that was quick and quiet to be in the barracks. So I always wanted to send them care packages. So I went to my boss and said, hey, I have this idea. I would love to do dramatic readings of these reviews. And he actually said, hey, I have a better idea. Why don't you make it a game show and read the reviews and have a different item? So we compare it. The compare and contrast is our appliances and adult toys. So the game is we read a review of a particular item, and you don't have to guess the specific item. That was always something that came up. People were, it's a rabbit, it's a dishwasher. But we read the review, and you let us know if you think it is an appliance or an adult toy. And you say toy. We get it.
We know what it is. An appliance can be anything that you plug in and use in your home, right? Would a leaf blower be an appliance, or is that a garden tool?
Depends on what you aim it at. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What we're talking about? Oh. These tended to be items like blenders and toasters.
Your cheeks are turning red, Patty. You embarrassed. You shocked yourself.
I did, didn't I? It's been a while.
Where's Patty? Blowing the lawn. Oh, mommy's so calm now. Okay, so it's an appliance or a toy. We'll call it a toy. All right. So, folks in the chat room, Politz and Brian and Juan, all those people, you can play. You can just type in what you think it is. If someone wants to call in, we'll put you on the air and we can do a few with you. So the number is 323-9000-911. That's 323-9000-911. I'm your emergency bear, and she is Patty Vasquez, and she is going to talk about reviews. It's What's in the Box with Patty.
Yay. Okay, so you want me to so and by the way, it's so much more fun if folks call. I would love that people are obviously joining us in the chat rooms, but if you call, it's so much more fun because it's great to hear people's responses.
It is. It really is.
So do you want me to read a review? Are you going to guess?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll show you how. I'll do the first one, people. Then you can call us at 323-9000-911 and get in on the fun.
Excellent. All right. So your choices are appliance or toy. Here we go.
Right.
Got this a while ago. It's quiet, but equally has a good range of power too. Sorry.
Well, you just said a minute ago about the ladies in the Army writing in about the kind of barracks loving that they require. I'm going to have to go with toy on that one.
You would be correct. It is a toy.
Ah! Who would take the time to write that review? I don't get that.
Oh, these are basics. There were nights I really wished we could have done the more specific details of why someone appreciated or did not appreciate a particular item.
Well, yeah, on the radio you can only be so specific, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think you could be more specific here, but not vulgar, but specific. Specifically non-vulgar hilarity is what we're looking for.
Well, and the other thing is there were often people who wrote a review for their partner and why they liked to. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
I do. It's a hilarious idea. All right, do it again. Do it again. I'm gonna do another one.
All right, here we go. I was disappointed with this. Had a slight smell.
Chat room, what do you say? Is that an appliance or is that a toy? Read it again, please, Patty.
I was disappointed with this. Had a slight smell.
You know what? We're getting a phone call. Let's see who's there. Hey, this is Boffo and Patty. Who's this?
Whoops. Yeah, hey, this is Mike from the South Bay. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. I love your show. I want to know why you're not wearing a mask.
Because I've been quarantined by myself for quite some time, and it's safe for me to be here. But thank you for your concern. Plus, I'm not susceptible to this particular virus. It's a human virus, and I am a bear, as you can plainly see.
I think there's some animals that they say have it. There's a couple of cats and dogs. I wouldn't be so sure about that, Buffalo.
Well, the cats and dogs have it because they're always palling around together. I do not pal around with dogs and cats. Frankly, I'm above it.
Well, listen, I respect your opinion, and I need some help with mask etiquette. I don't know when to wear it, what to wear it. I mean, should I tell other people who aren't wearing it they should be wearing it? I mean, it's causing a lot of consternation.
I think you should, but you just called in the middle of what's in the box. I think the first thing you have to do, Mike, is you have to answer the question. Patty, can you read the review again? Patty? Oh, did we lose Patty?
I think you put her on hold.
Wait, hold on a second here. I didn't put her on hold. She disappeared.
Is she on Skype?
I don't know.
Then you put her on hold.
Well, I don't know how I would have done that.
Because a call came in.
Oh, you can do that? I didn't mean to put her on hold. Okay, all right. Well, that was uncomfortable. Mike.
Do rehearsals always go this well?
Yeah, they're going great. Let me help you with your mask etiquette, and then we'll get Patty back on the phone. What was your question again? I'm all discombobulated now.
I want to know when I should wear a mask and if I should tell other people to wear a mask. I don't want to. I mean, there's nobody seems to know what they're doing out there.
Well, that's the truth. What you should do is when you go out of your house, you should wear a mask and wear gloves and then sanitize yourself when you get back in. If you're quarantining with people, you don't have to wear a mask at home. But if you do see someone walking on the street, I think the first thing you do is you nicely say, "Hey, I think you dropped your mask." And then if they come back at you like they're jagoffs, then you let them have it. Verbally.
Our own president doesn't wear a mask. Why should I wear a mask?
Well, I'm guessing your IQ is 2 to 3 times higher than his, and you should be smart enough to protect your family.
I'm wearing a mask now.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever going to take it off.
That's what I do, Mike. I save lives.
I'm sorry I ruined your game. I didn't realize. I was watching your show, and then I turned my head for just a minute, and I had this question I wanted to ask you, and I mean, so many people look to you for answers, and
True.
I mean, it's a lot of responsibility, and I think I can speak for all of us down here who really appreciate what you're doing.
Well,
I mean,
thanks,
you're on the
Mike.
front lines.
I'm out there. You know what?
Okay.
If this show isn't successful, the virus wins.
Can I guess what's in the box?
Yes, you can. Oh, wait. Hold on. I think, is that Patty coming in? Is that Patty?
Yes.
Is Patty back?
Is that Bill Cartwright?
That's not Patty. All right, yes, go ahead. Guess what's in the box, Mike. Oh, did I just hang up on Mike?
You did.
Son of a bitch. You know what?
Patty's back on the link, but it says she's the only one in the call.
All right, let me see if I can find her and start the call. You know what? This proves that this is all live, folks, as if anyone was challenging us. Oh, sweet Jesus. Wait a minute. What am I?
You're calling me.
I don't want to call you. There she is. Oh, my goodness. Patty, you dropped away. That was, I'm sure
No more calls.
well, why should that factor into what she's doing?
Because you don't have three-way calling.
Oh, okay.
On Skype.
Thank you, Kalita, for pointing that out.
Hi, Brian.
So I guess we can't take calls, folks. So don't call in because it makes Patty go away. And
Take off the phone.
hey, I took the phone number. But we could do it in the chat room. I'm sorry, Patty. Can you read that? I was talking to you for about 2 minutes before I realized that you were gone.
I was trying to message in the chat room and in the comments. I'm like, I'm not there anymore.
All right, so read it again, and we'll let the guys in the chat room
Okay.
go after it.
The one we were on was, I was disappointed with this, had a slight smell.
Right. Disappointed with Michael Riley wants to see the bird. I was disappointed with this, but
I'm molting.
it had a slight smell. What do you think that is, Brian Play-Doh? Anybody in the chat room there? No one? No one's got an idea. I'm gonna say appliance, because you wouldn't go 2 toys in a row.
I should have gone 2 toys in a row. You're right. It's an appliance.
Woo! All right, 1 and 1.
Because we're just warming up.
Yeah, Juan Carranza thought it was a toy. See, some of these, I think that's the comedy that they could make.
I got it right.
Yes, you did.
And Brian.
All right, yeah, so Mike and Brian got it right. And, yeah, Juan got it wrong. But that's okay. Do another one, Patty.
Okay. Timer, oscillating motor, cool digital display. What more do you need?
Now, this is one of those double back questions. A timer and an you think, of course, it's an appliance, but what if it isn't?
And the thing is, the technology on some of these items is pretty remarkable. There are
But a
ones
timer?
you can coordinate some of these with an app and have them controlled remotely. You can also coordinate, and I'm talking about anyway.
The bidet. Like the bidet.
I don't think you're talking about a toaster.
Nope.
Yeah, I have my partner do my toast because it's sexy. Are you talking about like a virtual reality thing where you put on the goggles and you hook your junk up to some sort of thing, and that you could buy that on Amazon?
You can control the speed, the length of duration. You can also coordinate with an app, so it goes to the music for toys.
Dun 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 dun. All right. Well, I'm gonna say, Juan Carranza's guessing fridge. I'm gonna say appliance. I'm gonna go with Juan.
It is an appliance. Yes.
What kind of appliance is it? Do you even know?
That was a blender.
A blender. Okay, good job. Juan coming from behind there with the fridge. Let me see if I can find one here. I did a little research. Let me see if I can stump you, Patty. Okay. All right, this one. And this is for you folks in the chat room, too. The only disappointing thing about this was that we couldn't go any higher. And it did become quite boring after a little. But the great news is I can use the lower settings with people home. When I first saw it, my breath was kind of taken away by how gorgeous it looks. Is that a toy or is that an appliance? Juan Carranza, what do you think it is? What do you do? What does that mean?
That means open your eyes.
My eyes are open. I'm flummoxed with what this could be. Juan Carranza thinks it's a fan. I suppose it could be a fan. Yeah. How gorgeous it looks. Would you really get excited about how gorgeous a fan looks, Juan? Maybe you would. Blender could be a toy if you're sick of that.
That's right.
That is
Hey,
right. It's like in Stripes. Bill Murray puts her up on the counter, gets her with a spatula.
spatula.
Right. All right. We
that,
got.
would be the Aunt Jemima treatment, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. You're absolutely the anti-Jemima treatment. All right. So Juan Carranza said appliance. Brian says blender appliance. Everyone's up. Brian Plando says a toy, and you would be correct. It is a toy. It is. It's a sex toy with all that material in it, and it took my breath away when I saw it for the first time. All right, do one more, Patty.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. I can confidently tell you without hesitation that this is the only one on the market worth getting for those in a morning rush.
Okay, so it's either. Look at that face on her. It's either like an espresso machine, or a date in your pocket machine. Would be my thinking. What do you think, Kulita?
I think it's an appliance.
An appliance. All right, Kulita. We'll say appliance.
You would be correct. It is an appliance.
Oh, what is it?
An appliance.
Well, no, but is it a coffee maker of some
It
kind?
was a coffee maker.
Yeah.
You had me at espresso.
I know. I figured you really dug that. These are fun to play, Patty. Do you ever use this kind of material in your act when you're doing stand-up, or is your stuff all scripted?
We do, because we do some variety shows. We'll have music and comedy, and at the end of the show, because there's still a lot of regulars who were guests on my show, so we have them on stage. Elliot Serrano, maybe Paul Farvar. We play What's in the Box. We actually do family shows. We do an earlier family show, and we do dad jokes. So it's kind of like a make me laugh. We bring 3 kids on stage and try to make them laugh with dad jokes. And then for the later show, the adult show, we close the show with What's in the Box.
Oh, yeah. You can't follow anything after What's in the Box.
No.
Because all the comedy's out of the box at that point.
Well, and it's so much fun to have people on stage trying to imagine closing their eyes, trying to imagine how would they use that.
Right, or you put it in their hand and make sure you drop it in water first, so it's all slimy and grimy, and they have no idea what it is. That'd be funny.
Okay, that's aggressive.
Well, it's so great to see you, Patty. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Where can people see you now? And I mean, do you have any plans to tour again live planned yet, or is everything still up in the air?
All up in the air, but I do have a comedy show coming up on June 11th. It's for a great organization called Child Serve. It's CHILDSERV, and we're raising money to help a lot of kids who are living in foster care. They're in group homes. They're all kids who have experienced trauma at some point in their life, and we want to help them reach their potential. So it's on June 11th with me, Pat Tomasulo, and Kevin Bozeman. So you can go to childserve.org for information and tickets for that show.
And that's a live in-person show, June 11th. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And what's your website?
Yep, my website is withkindwords.com. I have comedy consulting and a lot of the work that I do there, withkindwords.com.
You are one of a kind, Patty. Talking about the work she does, you folks have no idea. She's a mother. She's an advocate. She is a politically aware and active person, and always doing things to help other people. Never do you hear Patty doing anything to line her own pockets. It's always for people that are in need and disadvantaged or have been rolled over by the system. And I really admire everything you do, and the fact that you're funny. You roll it all into one delicious sandwich, and I think it's a hero sandwich. Oh, nice. Nice. Every once in a while I crack one a good one.
Nice.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah. You're my favorite.
Thank
You're a
you.
hero sandwich.
Take a bite of that, will you? Thank you. That's very kind of you to say.
All right, Patty. Hopefully I see you sooner than later. I miss you very much.
Stay happy,
Bye,
healthy, and
Patty.
safe, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. That's
Yeah.
Patty Vasquez, everybody. Very funny lady. Go to her site, support her June 11th gig if you can. Really funny radio personality, comedian, and person who's living well in this world for other people as well as her family. We want to thank all you watching the show and chiming in on the chat, playing What's in the Box. You can play that yourself. just go on Amazon and find some funny reviews and then play that online with your friends. That'd be a good time. I want to thank Mike, the caller, who called in, basically stopping the show in its tracks. It was a runaway train of comedy until that point when we got that phone call, but I feel that my phone call probably saved a life. And like I said, if this show doesn't succeed, the virus wins. So everyone that watches this program here and on our YouTube channel, you're doing your part to make the world safer for everyone. So until next time, I'm Boffo the Bear, and you gotta love me. Yeah, you do. You really, 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 really do. All right. Bye-bye.